Thiago Motta to Juventus. Here we go. It's confirmed now what we told for weeks and months. Thiago Motta will be the new Juventus manager, replacing Massimiliano Allegri.
A football made of spaces and not of formations, where every player, regardless of his role, can be in a space completely different from his traditional role. It all depends on the position of the ball. This is the football idea of the predestined. Thiago Motta. In his UEFA Pro thesis, he highlights two coaches who have influenced his coaching principles. The first is Lowe, who, with his Germany, transmitted the idea to the players of thinking of attacking while defending and thinking of defending while attacking. The second is Marcelo Bielsa and his idea of collective technical trust, in which each player actively participates in all the various phases of the game. In the conclusion, he summarizes the concepts he believes in 3 points. To achieve dominant football, you mustn't be afraid of the ball. For attacking football, you must want and obtain possession of the ball. The defensive phase must be aimed at recovering the ball as quickly as possible. But before analyzing his tactics, let's take a step back. Thiago Motta began his career as a coach in Genoa, where he was sacked after only 10 games in charge and mocked by the media because of his 2-7-2 playing style, which was not well interpreted. In fact, while everyone thought of a vertical layout, Thiago interpreted this 2-7-2 horizontally by counting the goalkeeper's role. Already from the adventure at Spezia, where he miraculously avoided relegation without being able to make a market, the first demonstrations of this idea began to be seen. This season was the one of his consecration, where he managed to bring a team like Bologna back to the Champions League and convince Juventus to bet on him from next season.
Thiago Motta to Juventus. Here we go.
But in addition to the incredible result he managed to achieve, his Bologna impressed everyone thanks to his way of playing. The player's deployments varies and is never fixed. Mainly, though, the starting formation is a 4-3-3, even if the priority is to create the 2-7-2 horizontally, where there are 2 players very wide on each flank, while there are 7 centrally counting the goalkeeper, who is crucial for the start of the build-up phase. During the first build-up, Thiago uses the pass and push philosophy, where the libero who passes the ball advances and joins the midfielder, creating the double pivot. With this movement, the goalkeeper becomes an active part of the first build-up phase, creating numerical superiority and facilitating the search for the free player. In the second part of the build-up phase, the team deploys in a 3-2-4-1, where the 7 central players exchange positions continuously throughout the field, confusing the opponent's marking. This deployment creates squares all over the pitch, creating areas of numerical superiority. But if the opposing team manages to man-mark, Joshua Zirkzee comes into play. He moves like a pendulum to recreate the numerical superiority in these squares. As you can see from his heat map, Zirkzee is a forward who drops down a lot, creating spaces for his teammates thanks to his technique. In the finishing phase, Bologna has at least 6 players close to the opponent's area, where the wingers remain wide and the 2 midfielders attack the half spaces. Thiago Motta leaves a lot of freedom in the finishing phase, having technical players who can easily dribble and create numerical superiority. Passes are often directed to the wingers, who have the option to either pass or take on a player. With already 6 players in advanced positions, the team is prepared to immediately recover the ball after losing it, as one of its principles states, think of defending when attacking, think of attacking when defending. The team's priority is to recover the ball as quickly as possible by pressing the opposing team in their own third. When the team attacks with 6 players, the defenders behind them form a 3+1 formation. The 3 defenders mark their opponents man-to-man, while a more advanced defender acts as a barrier to intercept any passing lanes. This allows the entire team to maintain a high line. When this doesn't work, the team repositions into a 4-5-1 formation, aiming to recover the ball as quickly as possible to launch a counterattack. According to Thiago Motta, counterattacks are not only vertical but can also be horizontal. He tries to unbalance the opposing team on the side where the ball is, leaving the opposite winger and fullback very wide and ready to receive the ball as soon as it is recovered. Now let's see this tactic on FM24. These are the player's instructions. First, we have the sweeper keeper on support, who is the +1 player for the first build-up. The right back is an inverted fullback on defense. The right center back is a ball-playing defender on defense. The left center back is a libero on support, who uses the pass and push philosophy and joins the midfielder, creating the double pivot during the first build-up phase. The left back is an inverted fullback on defense. The CDM is a deep-lying playmaker on defense with added instruction, tackle harder. The CM is a roaming playmaker on support with added instruction, tackle harder. The left wing is a wing on support. The CAM is a shadow striker on attack with added instructions, roam from position. The right wing is an inverted winger on support with added instructions, stay wider. And finally, the striker is a deep-lying forward on support with added instructions, roam from position. As we have already seen, the striker is fundamental to Thiago Motta's game, and he must be able to manage the ball well when it's at his feet. This is the player's deployment. These are the squad instructions. In possession we have wide as attacking width, pass into space and play out of defense as approach play, low crosses, work ball into box, standard passing directness, slightly higher tempo and run at defense. In transition we have counter press when possession has been lost, counter when possession has been won, and distribute to center backs. Out of possession we have high press as a line of engagement, higher defensive line, trigger press much more often and step up more for defensive line. Summarizing, Thiago Motta has brought innovative new ideas to football, prioritizing the value of possession, such as roaming defenders or horizontal counterattacks. Will he be the right coach for Juventus? Another coach who introduced a new concept of inverted fullbacks to the Premier League is Ange Postecoglou, who shook up the league in the first part of the season. I've made a video analyzing his tactics and recreating them in Football Manager 2024. If you're interested, take a look.